Good morning. I'm in a good mood today, just FYI. Okay, so we are going to be doing comparing additive and multiplicative. I know that that's not really how you're supposed to say it. There's really another way of, an actual way of saying it, multiplicative or whatever. So I just called it multiplicative. So that's why I'm a math teacher, not an English teacher. Anyways, so we're going to be talking about additive and multiplicative relationships. Very, very easy, very simple. It's a lot like it sounds. When I hear the word additive, what word do I hear in there? Add, right? And when I hear the word multiplicative, what do I hear? Multiply, right? Wouldn't y'all agree? Yep. Okay, so that's exactly kind of what it's going to entail. All right, so we have our additive relationships. I want to go through our additive relationship, and we're going to compare the two because every relationship is either additive or multiplicative, okay? And we're going to discuss, well, Miss Armstrong, you can also subtract and you can also divide, but we don't have a subtractive or dividative relationship. It's either additive or multiplicative. So an additive relationship, the graph could start anywhere. On your y-axis. So notice that this would be my graph, this would be my x-axis, this would be my y-axis. So my graph would start usually up somewhere on the y-axis. Could be further down, whatever, but the multiplicative, and this is like when you see a graph and it does this, you know automatically that no ands, ifs, buts, that it's a multiplicative. It will always start at 0 and go up. Because the multiplicative relationship will always go through the point of origin. Always. All right, so the additive relationship. My equation would look like y equals x plus a number, okay? X plus -5, x plus 10, x plus 1/2, x plus -5 million kajillion, x plus 0.5. So as long as I'm taking my x and I'm adding a number, it's going to be an additive relationship, okay? So what this means is that for every y, a number is added to x. Now this is where, so when we talk about it, well, Miss Armstrong, but what if I'm doing x minus 5? Because sometimes I'm subtracting 5 every time. But, yes, you're right, but what would we end up having to do with subtracting of integers? Don't we have to keep change, and make it into an additive problem? So it would be x plus -5, correct? So I'm still going to be adding, right? So it's still going to be considered an additive relationship. All right, so some words that sound like that we're going to be doing addition or subtraction, which would be the addition additive relationship, would be in addition to, more than, less than, more, added, subtracted. Those are key words that say, hey, this is going to be an additive relationship. When we talk about a multiplicative relationship, our equation will look like y equals a number times x. That number could be 1/2. That number could be 5. That number could be 7 million. It could be 4. Could be -9. That's any number times x. That's going to give me a multiplicative relationship. And what that means is that for every y, a number is being multiplied by x. Words that sound like a rate or comparison would be twice as many, double, triple, divided by, multiplied by, five times, or a number times. Those are just some key words that would say, hey, this is going to be a multiplicative relationship. So when we're trying to decide, is it an additive or multiplicative, the question that you're going to talk to yourself, remember, I'm all about talking to yourself, right? Things that you think in your brain. So the way that you're going to ask yourself is, I'm going to highlight this because it's really, really important. Actually, I just want to color. All right, so you're going to look at the relationship and you're going to ask yourself, as y increases, what is happening or happens to x? What is happening to x? To get from x to y, what is happening? Am I adding to it? Am I multiplying it? Am I dividing it? Am I subtracting? What am I doing to get from x to y? Those are the questions that you're going to ask yourself. All right, so let's look at a few examples here. All right, so I have my x and I have my y, and then my rule. What is happening to x to get to y? So I'm going to look here. What is happening to my x to get to y? I've got to times 3 and I've got to add what? 2? So either one of those, right? I could take 1 times 3, then gives me 3. I could do 1 plus 2 and gives me 3. But I have to look at all of them because remember, that rule has to satisfy everything. So if I take 2 and multiply it by 3, is it going to give me 4? So is that a rule that's going to work? If I take 2 and add 2, will it give me 4? So my rule would be 1 plus 2 gives me 3, correct? And do what? Can I just put plus 2? Is that what you're asking? I guess you could if you wanted to. 2 plus 2 is going to give me 4. 3 plus 2 gives me 5. 4 plus 2 gives me 6. So my relationship, is it going to be an additive or is it going to be a multiplicative? Because I'm adding to my x, so it's going to be an additive relationship. And my rule is what? Let's see who remembers yesterday what I said. It is not adding to. Go for it. Yes. Y equals x plus 2. Remember, I want it in the correct form. I want it in an equation form. I don't want to see just plus 2. I want to see it in an equation form. It's going to make your life a whole lot easier because once it's in an equation form, I can easily see, hey, look, this equation is the same as that equation, right? All right. Let's look over here at our other example. What is being done to x to get to y? Can? I'm multiplying by 5. Let's see. 1 times 5, does it give me 5? 2 times 5, does it give me 10? 3 times 5, does it give me 15? That looks like it's a pretty good rule, right? So, very good. So what is my relationship? Go for it. Multiplicative. Yeah, multiplicative. There you go. What? Oh. All right, and my rule. Somebody over on this side of town. Go for it. Y equals 5x. Very good. That is 5x. That's what I put. Okay, so that's a good question. She said, can I write it x 5? technically, oh, technically you could, technically you can write it x5. However, the proper way of writing it would be 5x.